Welcome to episode 9 of the Two Average Guys Sport Podcast. Just a couple average dudes talking about sports. No former playing experience, no former management experience. Literally two average dudes talking about sports. My name is Sam. This is my co-host here, Espen. Excuse me. How are we doing today?
Doing pretty good. I've been up since 6:15 watching the U.S. Open because I'm such a golf nerd. Yeah, it's been a fun day of golf, and it's gonna be a fun weekend of sports.
Yeah, we have a great weekend coming up in sports. We have some basketball, some baseball, some football, some college. We got our first official ACC. It feels like some golf, some tennis. If you're into that, I mean, I'm sure it's on. I don't know what it is, but it's on.
Got a little bit of hockey as well today.
My Dallas Stars making the Stanley Cup Finals. The first time.
Yeah.
It feels like freaking forever. But shall we go ahead and get started?
Let's get things started.
That's awesome. So NBA, well. Who would have thought the Denver Nuggets, after going toe for toe against the Utah Jazz, come in against the Clippers team, that was arguably one of the favorites to win it all. Game 7, what we thought with the Clippers were looking pretty good, and then Denver slowly but surely takes over. They take Game 7. I would say really remarkable comeback. What are your thoughts on the whole comeback?
As much as I want to give Denver credit for what they did, the Clippers choked this series away.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Would you agree with me?
Here's my thing. There's a few things that I say. The first thing is I don't think the Nuggets necessarily won. I think the Clippers lost the series. I think we saw Paul George just was not good. Kawhi Leonard was not good. I mean, their leading scorer in the last game was Montrezl Harrell, and he's a role player. I mean, that's what he is. And so the fact that they lost that is very tough. But let me give you some stats real quick. Jamal Murray in games 5 through 7, he averaged 29 points a game, a little bit over 5 assists and 6 rebounds. Pretty good numbers, not great, but pretty good numbers considering you're down, 3-1. Nikola Jokic, averaged 24 points a game, a little over 8 assists, and a little bit over 16 rebounds. He's a center, okay? This is unheard of, right? Anthony Davis is arguably one of the top centers in the NBA, and he's not doing this. And Nikola Jokic in Game 7 had a triple-double by the end of the third quarter. I don't think the Nuggets necessarily won it. I think the Clippers lost it. I think that the Nuggets just played with more heart. And honestly, this is probably the most relevant team that the Nuggets have had since Carmelo Anthony left.
I would definitely have to agree with you. Also, I was going to ask you this. Do you think Jokic is a top 3 center in the NBA right now?
I think he's arguably number 1. I mean, we look at the top centers, I would –
Because you got AD, you got Joel Embiid. Who else you got in there?
I think Jokic is better than Embiid. I know you're not
really.
I know he went to Kansas. I'm not.
Oh, I'm not saying. No. I don't think it's because I think it's his game. I don't think he was that great here at Kansas. I think his game is just completely elevated at the next level. But yeah, I mean
You got Porzingis.
Porzingis has been kind of injury prone though. So
Karl-Anthony Towns, but I would say that Jokic is better than any one of them. And I
still put Anthony Davis at number 1.
So where would you put Jokic on the list?
I would probably put him at 2. And then put Embiid 3.
But here's my thing, right? Anthony Davis is very mobile. He's very athletic. He moves around really, really smooth. He really flows in the game, right? Jokic, he's a little bit more stocky, a little bit more heavy built, which is fine.
Beefy boy.
Yeah. And so, right. So, I mean, he's not as big in terms of his movement, but he's very big in terms of his size. He takes up space. So, they're two different centers, but I would say Jokic is number 1 right now. I think he's killing it.
Yeah, I mean, Denver's lucky to have him on the team, and they're lucky to have Jamal Murray. But as we preview the Western Conference Finals now with Denver and the Lakers, what do you think is a successful series for Denver? Of course, with the underdogs. How many games do you think they go with the Lakers?
I wish I could give you a number. I don't know. I mean, after seeing them play against the Clippers, 6. I would see the Lakers winning, but if they go to Game 7, I could very easily see the Nuggets taking in 7. I think they seem to be that, like, dirty, like, let's get in physical, like, let's play, like, we can play in the mud too kind of team. And what are your thoughts? I really don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been high since we started this podcast. I've been high on the Lakers for the whole playoffs. I think playoff LeBron and AD are going to continue to dominate. They really haven't had to have like a tough series. I mean, both the series they played in have gone 5 games. They've kind of, in a sense, breezed through the first 2 series. I don't think they necessarily breeze through this series, but I do agree. I think it's going to go 6. I do see the Lakers moving on to the finals.
So here's my thing, right? We looked at Portland. I was a big fan of Portland coming in. Portland, Damian Lillard goes home, I think in Game 4, and then they lose Game 5. They have a really good shooting guard. They don't really have a lot of big physical, centers, power forwards, whatever. Okay. Then you have Houston. Houston's a much smaller team, small ball team. Same way, kind of. The thing about Denver is that they have guys who are big, who are physical, who are willing to kind of, take a hit for the team. And then you have coming off the bench, Michael Porter, who's not obviously, in terms of statistic-wise, he's not exactly like, okay, you look at him on paper, not so great. But he's one of those guys who makes such a big difference without, having to put points on the board. He's willing to get dirty. And that's what I think makes this team so good.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said earlier too, I think they definitely wanted it more than the Clippers. The Clippers just complaining about like how they had to play so much when Denver's had to come back from 2-3-1 deficits to. I mean, it just goes to show you how much they want it. So it's gonna be a fun series to watch, though.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna just say off the matchup comparison real quick, and I want to hear your thoughts. I'll give mine as well. So this was just off of the rosters that I found online. Listed LeBron James as point guard. So it's Jamal Murray for the Nuggets versus LeBron as point guard. I mean, I would say LeBron obviously in the
you're
favorite.
Yeah, as good as Jamal Murray is, he's not LeBron. He's not the.
Yeah. And so I would have to agree with that. The second at shooting guard is Gary Harris versus Mr. Criminal Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. If you don't remember, he couldn't leave the state of California for like 18 games because he wasn't allowed to. And that one, I have to go Gary Harris. It's a toss-up.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say that's a toss-up. I'm not gonna pick one.
That's fair. Jeremiah Grant for the Denver Nuggets versus Danny Green. Once again, another toss-up, but I have to go with Jeremiah Grant in this case.
You mean Jeremy?
It's Jeremiah. Jeremy? Is it Jeremy Grant?
It's Jeremy.
Oh, okay. It's Jeremiah.
It's Jeremy. I will bet you money that it's Jeremy. It's Jeremy Grant.
Jeremiah Grant versus Danny Green. What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna go Danny Green.
That's bold. I respect that, though. Paul Millsap versus Markieff Morris. I got to go Millsap.
I'm going to go Millsap.
You think it's going to be Markieff Morris the whole series, or you think he's going to switch out with his brother?
Oh, conspiracy theory. Revisiting that conspiracy theory of yours. I mean, who knows? That could happen.
If Markieff Morris gets he doesn't want to play games, they switch and bada boom, bada bing. Nikola Jokic versus Anthony Davis.
We said they were we said they were 1-2. I mean, obviously I said 80 is number 1, and this is gonna be the best matchup in the series, I think.
You think this is better than the Clippers-Lakers matchup?
Honestly, it might be because
Paul
George was god awful for the Clippers in that whole series.
Yeah, I mean, he had a rough going in the bubble.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets better in terms of going back to LA, his mental health. So on paper, it seems like a very, very simple, 1-2 matchup. Anyone can win. Like I said, I think that LA wins in 6. Denver could win in 7 if LA doesn't win in 6. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm going to say Lakers win the series no matter what. I don't see Denver beating the Lakers.
And how many games?
6.
I think 6.
Yeah.
That's fair. Going out east, obviously, Boston took the Game 7 over, Toronto. Kind of expected, I guess, in a sense. They played Game 1. Celtics lost Game 1 off of Jason Tatum. He tried to dunk the ball to tie the game.
And here
and
goes
Bam
Bam.
Adebayo gets the block.
He says,
I think he'd have a
Bam,
chance.
get out of. He says,
Yeah,
Bam, get out of here.
yeah, no, not in my house today.
The next,
I think Miami Heat win the series. I think it's gonna go 6 or 7.
God, Miami. I have picked against Miami basically the entire playoffs, and I have been wrong about them the entire playoffs.
They've gone 9-1 in the playoffs.
That is incredible. You don't understand how in a regular playoffs. That's
That is
incredible.
something that Golden State does. Okay, there's a difference between Miami and Golden State. Golden State had 3 All Pros. Like Miami's this team that had a bunch of no ones. Now you have Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Goran Dragic, like
Duncan
Duncan
Robinson.
Derrick Jones Jr.
Yeah. I saw an interesting stat online a few days ago. It was comparing this Miami Heat team to, I think it was either the 15 or the 16 Warriors, about catch and shoot percentage in their playoff games. And Miami, I think, like their field goal percentage of catch and shoot, it was some ridiculous number. Like I want to say it was like 61% or something.
That's crazy.
Like so that is incredible.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. Like I don't understand how they're doing it, but they're doing it. And I saw something also. They compared it to the 2011 Mavs. If you remember, Dirk Nowitzki, they had, I want to say it was Jason Kidd, or it wasn't Steve Nash, it was Jason Kidd, Tyson Chandler. I mean, they were just a physical team. I feel like Jimmy Butler, like, dude could be MVP in the bubble.
Yeah, I think it's going to go 7 games no matter what. It's a coin. This series is a coin flip for me. I could see
I will
both
say
teams.
this. The only reason I even like slightly like I'm not a Celtics fan by any means. I actually hate the Celtics, but I love Brad Stevens as a coach.
I do too.
I like his story when he was at Butler. He led them, he led him and Gordon Hayward to who'd they lose to?
They lost in the first year. They lost to Duke. They almost made a half-court shot to win the national championship. That was against
that was against Duke, right?
Yeah, and then the next year was the worst championship ever when they lost like 48-42 against UConn with Kemba. So they did go to back-to-back championships. Yeah, I like the story too with him and Hayward.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously Brad Stevens is such a tremendous coach to watch, but on the other side, like so is Erik Spoelstra.
Yeah, I mean, it was always fun to watch. I mean, those Heat teams, the Heat. I mean, they've never been like a horrible organization until like. I mean, they've always been kind of like relevant. They'll have a couple of like down seasons like in between their championships. It seems like, but they just kind of seem to like linger around.
Pat Riley knows what he's doing out there in Miami.
Yeah.
And if the Lakers don't win it this year, I could see Anthony Davis going to join them.
Really?
I mean, it's a bold prediction coming early. That's what we got for NBA news. MLB, you called it.
Yeah, I was pretty close on this. I said they were going to do a bubble. I was pretty close at where they were going to play too. I think I said the World Series is going to be played at the new ballpark in Texas, and that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, so the postseason is going to start in 12 days from now, September 29th. World Series is going to begin roughly about a month from now, October 20th. I just want to run this down real quick. So the NL Wild Card in the Division Series is being played in Arlington, Texas, and Houston. So don't let Dodgers play in Houston just because, Dodgers, Houston, thanks some trash cans.
Yeah.
The AL Wild Card Series, the Division Series, being played in San Diego and Los Angeles. NLCS at Arlington, ALCS at San Diego. The first time the Padres ballpark's probably going to be used in the playoffs. Just hasn't been used. They've sucked, just being honest. And then the World Series is going to be played in Arlington, Texas. I like this.
I do too. Also, in another interesting nugget, there's not going to be off days. There's not going to be off days in between the games. Like the wild card, they're going to play 3 straight games. I saw like the ALCS and the NL, or the ALDS and the NLDS. They're going to be 5 straight days. They'll get a day off, and then the ALCS and NLCS. I'm pretty sure they're playing. If they go 7, I think they're playing 7 straight games in those, or 7 straight days.
That is crazy.
So you're going to get. I mean, the whole playoffs is going to wrap up in a month, which is incredible. And I think it's going to be. It's going to be really fun in the wild card round because it's something we haven't seen before. You're going to get 3-game series, so you could see like a team like the White Sox who are going to.
I was going to say the White Sox are number 1 seed right now.
They may get up at 1 seed. I mean, they may have to play the Houston Astros, who would be the 8 seed, and they may lose 2-1 in a 3-game series.
Yeah.
Also, Shout out to my Royals. They're only 3.5 games back from making the playoffs.
Yeah, that's because it's a different format this year. Settle down, man.
I know, but still, it's like I looked at the standings today. I was like, holy crap, we're 3 games out. I know there's only
Hey.
there's only a week and a half left. And it's probably not going to happen. But hey, I mean, I can dream.
Yeah, you have the chance. I'm gonna let you take college basketball. Obviously, the fanatic here. Go ahead, take it.
Yeah, so fun news yesterday breaking. College basketball season is going to be happening this year. It's going to start November 25th. In all likelihood, they're saying that 8 like early season tournaments that are played during Thanksgiving week are all going to be taking place in Orlando, kind of emulating the NBA bubble format, which I really like. I've also seen the idea of instead of playing a tournament, a lot those teams like in those tournaments are just going to play like a round robin against each other, so they can knock out like 6-7 regular season games right off the bat in Orlando, which I'm a fan of. And I mean, you get some like super tournaments, like you can have like a Michigan State versus like Villanova, like a UCLA Kansas kind of thing. So
That'd be kind of cool to like see teams that usually don't match up.
yeah, and I mean you don't get a ton. I mean, yeah, you get some of those non-conference games which are fun to watch, but like
Kansas versus Hawaii.
That'd be a blowout.
Kansas versus the University of Alaska Anchorage.
Go Fighting Snowboards, whatever their mascot is.
I was gonna say I don't know what their mascot is, but college basketball. We just had the news, coming and dropping. College football had some breaking news too, though.
Yeah, Big Ten. They finally gotten their act together. I mean, goddamn, it only took 2 months for them to get something straight. But yeah, they're officially starting October 24th. They're gonna have an 8-game conference schedule. And so what do you think about the 8-game conference schedule? Are you a fan of it?
So I like it, but here's my problem: is that when it ends is December 19th. Well, that's half of bowl games are kind of already done at that point. So
well, no, actually, the college football playoff show is the 20th, so it's the day after.
Oh, they moved it.
So I think they moved it like a week later. So I think the bowl games are going to start like that, like the week of Christmas. Which hey, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, nice little winter break action.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't know that. That's pretty unique actually. So then I am a fan of it. I just hope there's good matchups. I don't want to see like Ohio State play Rutgers.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be so much fun with the college football fans because they're crazy as it is. But how are they going to decide who gets in the playoff this year when you have like an 11-0 Clemson, say, versus an 8-0 Ohio State? Who gets in? Clemson's played 3 more games, or say Clemson loses a game but Ohio State's undefeated. Like it's just going to be really interesting to see.
I think this would be the perfect year to open the playoffs to 8 teams.
Oh, I have been advocating for 8 to 16 teams like since it started. I think 4 teams is so stupid.
Yeah, 4 teams is a little too small. That being said, do you think the Pac-12 changes anything?
I think they're going to follow the Big Ten. The Big Ten was trying to be smart about it, but then other conferences were like, no, we kind of want to wait and play it out and see how it happens.
Well, here's the thing. The Big Ten only canceled football, fall sports. The Pac-12 canceled every single sport up until the calendar year. So technically they can't play basketball until January 1st. So they're losing a crap ton of revenue. So that just makes me question.
Yeah, if they're the only conference that doesn't play football, that's gonna look really bad on them. I mean, not like bad on them, but it's gonna hurt them financially a lot.
It's okay because here's the thing: I'm sick and tired of seeing Washington getting the freaking college football playoffs. Like they don't deserve it.
Just throw a bunch of SEC teams in there.
No, just throw a bunch of Big Ten. I'm a huge Big Ten fan. I respect the Big Ten.
Big Ten is probably the deepest conference, though.
That's what I'm saying. I like the Big Ten more than I like the SEC.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of all that. Well, I want to see some tough physical football.
I'll tell you, the Big 12 won't be getting in the playoff because we suck.
Hey, University of Texas, hook 'em horns, baby.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're playing this weekend, but we do have a few games if you want to preview and make a few picks.
Tulsa at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, noon o'clock. Noon kickoff.
Noon o'clock.
Battle of Oklahoma. I think I picked the Cowboys to make the playoff. I think they could be a sneaky team this year. They're number 11. And also with the Big Ten coming back too, all those Big Ten teams are getting back in the rankings. So who knows?
Yeah,
I'm going to go Oklahoma State.
We only have a couple games happening this weekend for Big
I just put down the big games. A lot of the other ones were not great.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Oklahoma State as well. Houston at Baylor, upset time, Houston.
I'm gonna go Houston as well. I think because they have Dana Holgerson, who used to be the ex-West Virginia head coach. He
Remember,
took
Baylor lost to Liberty.
Liberty, Liberty, Liberty.
They
Yeah,
lost to Liberty.
I'm gonna go.
UCF. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I think that game I could see that game being a shootout. Texas under the early Texas kickoff. I see a lot of offense.
Yeah. UCF number 14, obviously. I don't think they're one of the weird numbers. Just I think they're entering in an appropriate place.
Yeah.
At Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has a fun, stupid offense. UCF. Maybe I don't know. I'm not confident in that decision.
Georgia Tech beat Florida State last week, so they got a pretty decent win under their belt. I think
Florida
Central
State.
Florida.
It's like the criminals that didn't get into Florida.
Into the U.
Yeah, into Miami or into Florida.
I'm gonna go UCF.
Last one, probably the game of the week. Miami, number 17 at number 18 Louisville. College game day is going to be there. Another tough one. I would have to go Louisville.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna go with the Hurricanes. Go Canes.
Yeah, a little criminal action. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, alumni.
Yeah. First, I think it's the first matchup of two ranked teams this season. So hey, we'll take what we can get.
I might have to tune in that. Going from Saturdays to Sunday football, NFL week 1, a little bit crazier than we could have imagined. You have people pulling hamstrings. You have the Jets still sucking. You got the Browns getting crushed. Week 2 starts tonight. Bengals at Browns, both 0-1. Joe Burrow gets his first win for me.
I am going to disagree. Are we doing our picks now? Yeah, let's do
We are.
This.
We're doing the picks now too.
Okay, yeah. So our week 2 picks. You said you're going to go with the Bengals.
Yes.
You're going with. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns.
Oh,
do you want
that would really. Can I change my division?
Here's the thing. How about we alternate by picking who goes first, and that way the other person can play strategy off the other person.
All right.
So, you're free to change since it's not long.
I'm going Cincinnati, baby.
Going Cincinnati.
Get that chili.
All right. Next game we got is the New York Giants at Chicago. There's no chance I see the Bears going 2-0. They kind of. I don't want to say lucked into a win last week, but it's Mitch Trubisky. I mean, I think the Giants, they show some promise on Monday night. I think Daniel Jones, if they can get that offense rolling, I think the Giants actually match up well with the Bears. I'm going to go with the Giants beating the Bears at Soldier Field.
Chicago.
Wow.
Chicago, man.
You're also 2 games down on me, so if you lose these first 2, you're.
We're in week 2. We have plenty of games left in the season. I don't think the Giants. I think the Giants are going to go 4-12 this year.
Yeah, you can take the next one first. You're
Cowboys, Dallas, baby. Dallas.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. This is a good matchup. Wow, you are so doing those sounds. I think this is gonna be a good matchup. I predicted Atlanta to make the playoffs at the beginning of the season. I still think they can, even though they're gonna be 0-2. But who knows?
After seeing how the Falcons played against the Seahawks, I don't think their defense has it, and I think Dallas it's gonna be a shootout. But I think Dallas is gonna be able to pull away.
And I think the Rams are a lot better than people are thinking too. So I think that and in week 1, like we said, it's always kind of fluky. So
especially with this year, no preseason as well.
Yeah. Next game, we got another NFC North matchup for both of these teams who both had division matchups last week. Got Detroit at Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers continues to roll. Detroit doesn't stand a chance. Go Packers.
Get me the cheddar. Get me the Munster. Get me the American. Get me the Swiss. Put it on my head. Let's go Pack. Go Pack, go.
Get you some good old cheese curds at Lambeau.
Get me some good old cheese curds. Get me some, and instead of showering with shampoo, I'm going to do a little cheese fondue. Scrub a dub. Go Pack, go. Do you think that's what they do in Green Bay?
What else is there to do?
It's a weird town, man. It's weird.
I'll let you take the next one with them.
Jaguars at Titans. Go Titans, go. Jadeveon Clowney makes a statement.
Gonna have to agree with you 100%. There's no way on earth the Jaguars are 2-0.
We
I mean,
also
it's
said
just
that they were going to lose to the Colts, but that was the Colts. So
speaking of the Colts, our next game up, Vikings at Colts, which the Vikings defense looked like crap last week. I think the defense improves. I think they make adjustments. I think the Vikings are going to go into Indy and win.
I think the Colts win this one, and I think your Rookie of the Year candidate, Jonathan Taylor, goes off.
I'm benching him in fantasy.
Oh, shit. Oh, shoot. My bad. First cuss word of the night.
Oh, wow.
My apologies. I'm sorry. Spotify, Apple, please don't hate me. I'll put the explicit version in.
I'm going with, I'm actually going with Michael Gallup as my flex instead of Jonathan Taylor. I think
Hey,
Gallup has
I like that.
I think Gallup has a big week for Dallas. You want to take the next one, Bills at Dolphins?
Bills at Dolphins. Smashing tables, baby. Let's go
Bills.
Bills.
Yeah,
Let's go Bills.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. Bills are.
The Dolphins just looked terrible against New England.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was like first game jitters or just they were terrible.
Next game, San Francisco makes a cross-country trip to the New York Jets, 49ers. I think they smashed the Jets.
Gold miners come out east.
Yeah. Although some of those cross-country trip games, they're a lot closer than we think just because of the travel. So who knows? I mean,
I agree with that, but I think the Jets are just so bad coaching-wise that they have no chance. And Le'Veon Bell went on to IR.
Yeah.
I think the 49ers get some gold out in New York. Rams at Eagles. I think Rams.
I'm going to agree with you. I was at the beginning of the week, I was dead set on Philadelphia winning this game, but Carson Wentz overrated. I think the Eagles are going to be a lot worse than people think. And I
always see those things on Twitter where it's like Carson Wentz is like 0-31 against like teams above 500. I'm like, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Go back to North Dakota. Who's the next game?
Broncos at Steelers here. I'm going to go Pittsburgh. They looked really solid on Monday night. I don't think people are getting a little too crazy with Pittsburgh saying that they could be a Super Bowl favorite. I don't think that's the case.
I'm going to have to disagree.
You're going to Broncos.
The horses are the Broncos are coming out to the east. I think behind Melvin Gordon, Jerry Jeudy, Drew Lock, I think that they put something together. I think they get that dub.
I can see them winning. They played. I mean, that Monday night game against Tennessee was really fun to watch.
It was just terrible. Like it was such a bad game. It was like good. It was good because it was bad.
Yeah.
Like the Titans still won, even though their kicker missed 4 field goals.
Boy, that was.
You hate to see it.
Yeah. Next game we got the Panthers at the Bucks. I think Brady and the offense they rebound. I just don't think Panthers can keep up with them. I'm gonna go Bucks here.
Old Man Rivers scores a touchdown and another one and another one and another one, and the Bucks win by at least 21 points.
Old Man Rivers plays for the Colts. Who are you talking about?
Old Man Brady touchdown. Old Man Brady touchdown. Old Man Brady touchdown. I think the Bucks win by 21 points.
Wow.
Gotta have it. Washington at Arizona. Arizona takes this easily.
I have to agree with you. Another team that I think the Earth may stop if we have the Jags and Washington both 2-0.
Who else? The Bears. Bears 2-0 too.
Yeah. Next game, Ravens at Texans. I mean, Ravens are going to absolutely dismantle this team. Houston doesn't stand a chance.
I have to go Baltimore. I have to agree with you.
You got to go with your heart. You got to go with your head.
I think the Texans will win a few games. I think they'll surprise us. Chiefs at Chargers. Chiefs.
I was about to say.
Mahomes has a little fun slinging the ball around.
Patrick Mahomes will throw for 400 yards this week.
That's bold.
Dude, it's the Chargers.
Sure? He might. All right, take the next one.
This is a good Sunday night game. Patriots and Seahawks. Also, a little note to this game: there's air quality with all the wildfires out there. There's air quality issues, so I think the game is still going to go on as scheduled in Seattle, but something to look out for. I mean, it's definitely probably going to be hazy there, so I'm going to go Seahawks though.
I'm going Seahawks.
The 12th man is the fire.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I go Hawks. I don't see the Patriots keeping up, but Bill Belichick always has something up his sleeve.
Are you going to go with the fun Monday night matchup between the Saints and the Raiders?
Saints at Raiders.
New stadium.
It's John Gruden, man. I got to go Raiders in the upset.
Wow.
I know, but it's only because it's their new stadium, and the only team to lose their first game in the stadium are the Dallas Cowboys, so, fun. But I have to go Raiders just because Derek Carr is unreal. Absolutely can't even an arm.
So you think the Raiders are 2-0? Wow.
I do. I'm not high on the Saints this year because I think Drew Brees is going to finally decline.
Yeah, I mean they have like I mean I.
And
I'm
Michael
so,
Thomas is hurt. Note that number one receiver is hurt.
Yeah, he didn't have the best game last week.
Oh, wasn't paying attention.
So yeah, that pretty much wraps up.
Not to be rude or anything.
Yeah. That wraps up our NFL Week 2 picks. Of course, we'll post them on Twitter.
Oh, you didn't pick yours. You going with Saints?
Oh yeah, I said Saints. I'm going Saints.
Okay. All right. Get the Mardi Gras going. Give us the other sport news.
Yeah, so like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I've been up since 6:15 this morning watching the U.S. Open because I'm a crazy golf nerd. Winged Foot this week outside of New York. It's so much fun to have a major championship week. Course is incredibly tough, although it's playing kind of easy today. My pre-tournament pick, Rory McIlroy, he just became a father, so congrats to him. He will win major number 5, winning at a score of +3, which I really want them to just – I hope this course gets impossible.
Is this Phil's last U.S. Open?
No.
He's like 50-something years old. He's old.
Although last U.S. Open that was here, Winged Foot, Phil Mickelson had to make par to win the tournament, and he made double bogey. So, you love
Trash. Trash.
Yeah.
The trash gets taken out tomorrow. Phil Mickelson, go out there.
Yeah, so that's U.S. Open. Little NHL playoffs update.
Dallas, baby. The Stars. The Stars. We're going to the Stanley Cup final, baby.
Be honest,
We're going to play there.
Have you watched a single second of the Stars?
Yes, I have. New York versus Tampa, I couldn't care less about until the Stanley Cup finals. But I have watched, probably about a game's worth of the Stars. Not much. There's highlights for a reason.
You're kind of like,
I'm the highlight.
You're kind of like me with hockey. You're just more kind of like a casual hockey.
But I'll watch probably a lot more of the finals because then it's actually fun.
Yeah, I always tune into the finals, but I mean, I just feel like unless you're a diehard hockey fan, no one really cares that much until it's
Oh, way to spot on. All right, let me ask you something. All right, would you rather have sports throughout the year, or how we've had it past few months, no sports for 4 months, and now we got NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, golf, tennis,
college sports.
What would you rather have?
I mean, it's fun having all of it at once because we were so sports deprived for the all summer and in the late part of spring. I like having stuff spread out though. I was gonna say
nice. It's a little overwhelming almost.
It is I don't know what NFL, for example, last Sunday when the Clippers Nuggets game 6 was going on, no one knew it was happening just because and I mean in the summer when the playoffs are happening usually for the NBA, everybody's tuning into that, but it is a little overwhelming. I think once NBA wraps up here, I think stuff will get back to normal. But then you have baseball playoffs starting, which is wild.
Yeah, no, it's definitely crazy. But that's all we got for our sport news today. Give me your hot take for this Thursday hot take.
So my Thursday hot take, it's NFL prediction. The NFC West will have 3 2-0 teams. Like I said in my predictions, Rams are going to win. The Cardinals are going to win. Seahawks are going to win. And the Niners rebound. They get to 1-1. The NFC West, I think I'm going to be completely wrong about my LA prediction too, about how neither of them are winning 10 wins. I think the Rams are – I'm starting to get high on the Rams again, but we'll see. What about you?
I think every single football team in the state of Florida – oh, wait, I said the Bucs are going to win. I have Miami Heat winning game 2, but now I'm not so sure because that was before the Celtics had to go and lose. I got Miami in game 2. Lakers take game 1. Not really a hot take. Lakers are kind of expected to win. But that's my Thursday hot take.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
We got sports, man. Fun weekend in sports.
It's a good time to have started a sports podcast. If we started this 4 months ago, I don't know if we could. Our episodes would be no
content.
Our episodes would be 10 minutes long.
Yeah, we'd be recording 10 minutes while we'd be playing 2K because there's no other sports. We'd be watching on ESPN all this esports that's happening.
Dude, do you remember they were on ESPN and other CBS Sports when they were showing just 2K games during the summer because there was nothing to watch.
Terrible. So, all right, well, you enjoy your weekend with the sports. Watch some golf, some basketball, baseball, football, soccer. whatever you really floats your boat.
Yeah. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Always, of
Yeah.
course, it's always up on the screen. T_A_G Sports. And then always comment, subscribe, like us on YouTube. We are wanting to talk to you guys, trying to build our brand. So yeah.
That's all I got. That's all
Yeah.
we got. That's all, man. So go watch some sports.
Another solid episode, Samuel.
All right. Take care, man.
All right. Yeah. See you later.